Let's look at this bracket again, because
now it's time.
Yeah, these matchups are absolutely amazing, and the schedule now is out for these quarterfinals are on Monday, August 5th, 2 days from now. The first game, 9 a.m. local, is Poland versus Slovenia. So not only are those two teams, like the history is there, Poland's giant question marks are there, Slovenia is playing awesome, but they're also going to have to do it at 9 a.m. local. So there's another layer to that. Italy versus Japan is the 1 p.m. local game. France versus Germany is the 5 p.m. local game in Paris, obviously. And then the very last game, 3 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. local, is USA versus Brazil. And this bracket is incredible. Italy, Japan, Germany, France are on what I'm going to call the top of the bracket. Slovenia, Poland, Brazil, United States on the bottom of the bracket. And it's honestly like a mathematical miracle that we don't have any pool rematches. It's incredible that it worked out that way.
It is absolutely amazing. It's wonderful. It's so even. It's so perfect. It sets up so many nice combinations of quarterfinal finishes as well. And it also plays on some like regionality, like rivalries too, which I really, really like. Rob, I think we should start at the top here with Italy versus Japan, and make our way down, because in the first spot, the 1 versus 8, you have, is this a VNL rematch?
Last year's VNL bronze medal match is the match that comes to mind for me when Japan beat Italy in 5.
That is what I was thinking. It was last year, not this past year. But to me, Rob, it's going to have two teams it's like the two most skilled teams in the world. And I think if you're Japan, chicken taking a sip there above. I'm a little jealous. I've only got water. If you're Japan, Italy is the worst matchup for you in the
for sure,
in my opinion, because they're the one team who you can't outskill, right? You can maybe, but that thing isn't there. And then it's also, let's be real, Italy has been playing some of the best, if not the best, volleyball so far in this tournament, and Japan has played some of their worst volleyball so far in this tournament. So I see this match being potentially a 3-dong. I could honestly
very possible.
I could honestly see this match being a 3-dong. Now, Japan does have the ability to pop off, right? And if they get going, and if they can get that good momentum, they're one of the best momentum teams in the world. Maybe they can make things interesting, I think. Like, it's once again, it's the quarterfinal of the Olympics. But if that's going to happen, Ishikawa needs to have one of the best matches of his life, which is in his favor because he's playing against players that he knows so well, that he plays against year in, year out. And the same thing with Ran, right? Those two guys who know the Italian volleyball so intimately now need to be at their best. They have been lukewarm at best so far, and they need to play literally we need Ran from before the injury in Monza, and we need the Yuki Ishikawa from the playoffs last year from Milano. Those are the two versions of Ran and Yuki Ishikawa that team needs to have a chance of beating Italy.
I agree. That's especially with the current form, man. Like, Italy looks like the best versions of themselves right now. Japan kind of got through by the skin of their teeth. Tough pool, obviously, but they sort of look like the worst versions of themselves right now. And they didn't play at all well yesterday against the U.S. until Yuki Ishikawa got benched. So bad sign. The only thing going in Japan's favor is that this is the Olympic quarterfinals and anything can happen. The chaos element and the sort of human and emotional elements of this is the only thing that I see being in Japan's favor, because if it's just like volleyball and current form, this is a 3-0 for Italy. But again, this is the Olympic quarterfinals, and chaos and anything can and will happen. So I'm not like nearly as convicted about Italy 3-0 as I would be if they happened to have played in pools, in which case it would have been a no-doubter Italy 3-0. Oh, bye, Everett. I'll keep this going until he rejoins. Yeah, I love Italy in that matchup. I don't really see the way that Japan's playing right now giving me a lot of faith in picking them in an Olympic quarterfinal. Hey, Everett, welcome back.
Sorry, I clicked on the wrong stat sheet. That brought me to somewhere else.
Oops. I'm with you. Heavy favorites for Italy. How about Germany and France? This is a lot more interesting.
way more interesting, especially when you take into consideration that the one real game Germany played in the VNL this year, they 3-donked France, right?
Correct.
The one time Germany played with Grosjean in the VNL, they got a 3-donk on France. Now, however, that was without Cheniniese and without Engapeth, so there's still some things there, but you have one team, like, this is a team potentially that France could maybe overlook. This could be a situation where France is potentially, I know there's a lot of French weebs out there.
I agree with this.
I like this might be a Czechia in the quarters of Euro volley type of situation. Potentially. I would hope not. I would hope that Gianni, who previously coached for Germany,
Good call.
before coming here, would know a little something about Gregor Grosjean and what he can bring to the table. But I think this match has all of the potential fireworks because Germany's steady. Germany's a steady team, right? They're German. They're systematic. They're structured, right? They build things that last, right? The stereotypes really apply in volleyball, and I kind of love that.
They 100% do.
Yeah. And so they just play a very systematic play. Everyone is solid. They're going to be solid all around. They're going to expect Grosjean to score some points and Karliczek as well too, and they're going to be good down the middle. France is going to be way more up and down. France is going to be the best team in the world at points, and they're going to be the worst team in the world at points. So they're going to ride that emotion, and there's going to be a lot of motion running in this game. So if Germany can keep their heads about them and stay steady and even and continue playing their game no matter, and not get into the mental shit, not get into that mental jawing through the net with France, because France will try to get into your head through that game.
Yes,
Engapeth
they will.
try to talk through the net. Gizov will try to talk through the net, right? Those guys will try to talk to the net. So if Germany can stay steady, I really think that they can weather the French storms that are going to come, in waves.
Yeah, I love a lot of the individual matchups, like the position matchups in this match. I think the middle matchup is going to be huge. Anton Brema has been on a tear this tournament. Can two Olympic gold medalists in Le Goff and Chinagnezu slow him down? I really like the opposite matchup in like a bull in Grozer versus like a gazelle in Jean Patry, and the different flavors of scoring that those two guys produce. But in my opinion, this match will be won and lost at the outside hitter position. That's been the one question mark for France this tournament. They've started with Ngapet and Luati for reasons that we don't really understand, with Cleveno being good off the bench a couple times, and then Germany being like surprisingly good at the outside since settling upon Moritz Reichert and Moritz Karliczek. And Karliczek has been unbelievable. Like if he keeps that going, then Germany will be very difficult to beat. But if we see like Olympic gold medal caliber Ngapet and Cleveno, which it would be my choice if I were the French head coach, then I think France wins the match through that area of the court.
It's quite possible. There's so many situations in this matchup. I think the middle matchups are going to be fantastic. I think they're going to be really, really interesting. My question is can the P2 from Germany, whether it's Massa or if it's Krick, can they keep up? Can they play with Le Goff or Chinagnezu, right? We absolutely know that Anton Brema can, maybe not on the blocking side as much, but he's going to get his looks offensively, and Germany has shown that they need to feature him offensively. But you've got two of the best one-on-one blocking middles in the world when it comes to just straight up like one-on-one blocking. Like both Chenagnezu and Le Goff read really well. They know when to commit, when to read, and they reach really well too. Like they get up there and take away space. So can France dominate down the middle to be able to open up that outside even more? To me, is going to be the one of the big factors.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I'm just looking at the score. It looks like Serbia is up 25-24 in the third. Everett, we got a little overtime situation going on here.
Yeah, sorry, maybe I was watching. I was pulling up notes, so I forgot about the game. This is my ADHD. If it's not in front of me, I forget about it completely. Trust me, I would lose my head if it wasn't attached to me.
Keep an eye on that. Yes, I sure. Yeah, we can keep track of that too. That's pretty important. Slovenia and Poland is like, volleyball fans couldn't have dreamed of a spicier quarterfinal match than this. I already talked about the curse of the Polish quarterfinal. We know how much pressure they're going to be under to handle that. But there's also the Poland and Slovenia history. I mean, we talk about it a lot. Poland has beaten Slovenia the last couple times they've played in meaningful matches. So we will put that on the record. We know that Poland has won recently.
Yes.
But
recently.
in playoff situations, historically, when this Polish team has been under pressure to advance in a tournament and they come up against the Slovenian team, it has gone Slovenia's way before. That's what I'll say about that.
European Championships 2014. Why is there 2014 and 2015?
That would have to be 15, 17, 19. I can't remember the exact Euros history, but those two teams have played in bracket many times. Also, Everett, I'm just noticing that it looks like Serbia won the set.
Yes, they did. That's what I said. Fuck earlier. European Championship qualifying. Actually, Slovenia beat them in that. Then Slovenia beat them in 2015 in the European Championships. They beat them in 2017 in the European Championships. Then they beat them in 2019. They beat them at the European Championships, and 2021 as well. They beat them at the European Championships. At the VNL, it's been a different story. Slovenia usually mostly wins during the pool play, and then Poland has won in the playoffs. Poland did exercise those demons by beating Slovenia in the quarterfinals, I think, once again in the 2023 European Championship. So a lot of history from these two teams. Most of Slovenia's success in terms of winning 4 medals at the past 5 European Championships has been on the back of beating Poland.
Correct. Yeah. So good vibes there for them. However, like the VNL bronze medal match this year, Poland absolutely dismantled Slovenia. But that's VNL, and that was a bronze medal game. So take that however you will.
Exactly. And I felt like that maybe Slovenia was a little bit exhausted at the end of that run. Right. They especially the way that they played against Japan in the semifinals and the way that they came up against Poland in that bronze medal match. You could tell that they were a little bit exhausted. And in the preview, I thought that exhaustion might extend to this Olympic Games, but it hasn't so far.
Right.
And that to me is the interesting spicy factor that I think if you're Slovenia, you want Poland.
I agree. I think they absolutely do.
Because this is the group of players that has beat them consistently. They've built their careers. They've made names for themselves by consistently beating this Polish team, right? And maybe not this exact version of the Polish team because there's been so much turnover. When you look at the variations of the Polish programs over the years and playing against basically
setters, opposites,
like the entire program has moved through. Kuek is the only one left, right? But like, this is a Slovenian team that feels comfortable and confident against this Polish team. And sure, they may not have had that success lately, but they can feel it within themselves that they can do it. And on Poland's side, I think because of how much pressure, and it comes down to this, not only are you trying to overcome a quarterfinal curse that you have been unable to, you are doing it against the team that you previously were known to have a quarterfinal curse against. It's just double, right?
Yeah.
I think if Poland wins this game, they win the tournament.
I kind of agree with that.
In my opinion, if Poland wins this game, right? It's like USA in Lake Placid. Is that like the Miracle on Ice? Like once you beat the Russians, everything else was gravy.
Yeah.
Right. If Poland wins this quarterfinal against Slovenia, it's done for.
But certainly not going to be easy. And current form obviously favors Slovenia. They're playing unbelievable. Poland is not. But it's the Olympic quarterfinals. I'm it's weird, Everett. Poland has been so uninspiring, and Slovenia has been so good that I'm actually wary of picking Slovenia to win this game. I actually kind of have a feeling that Poland's going to win this game.
Well, that's and you see that especially at the Olympics sometimes where a team is doing so well and one team is maybe a little bit struggling and you hit that quarterfinals and everything changes.
Yeah.
Everything changes. So that's why I think that this match is truly a toss-up.
Yeah.
Is truly a toss-up. What was their rankings again? How did they
3 and 6. Slovenia is 3 overall. Poland is 6 overall.
And then Japan and France is that 4 or 5 game. Man, that's perfect. That's
France
so perfect.
Is 4, Germany 5. It's incredible. This bracket's so good.
So
and then last but not least, Brazil versus the United States. What an all-time classic and another big, big moment in the Olympics. Oh boy!
Rob,
By the way,
before
I'll
we
start off with this. I texted Eric Shoji yesterday
oh
when it was clear, like after we beat Japan, and it was clear that we were either going to get the 1 or the 2 seed, and we would either play Japan again or Brazil. And I asked Eric, "Do you have a preference between the two?" And he said, "No."
of course he's going to say that. Of course he's good. He's come on.
No,
Eric,
I agree with him. I don't have a preference either. I love the way we match up with this particular Brazilian team.
I mean, he gave you a media answer. I hope you know that. What, Rob? For some context, this will be the in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in now 6 Olympics. This will be the 7th time that the USA and Brazil have met at the Olympic Games. They met twice in Athens. US won their pool play game 3-1. Then Brazil beat you guys in the quarters, I believe, 3-0. In Beijing,
Semis, I think. I'm not sure. I think we beat Greece that year and then lost to Brazil. Ancient history.
We're talking about Athens. Doesn't matter. In Beijing, the US beat Brazil 3-1 in the final. In London, the US beat Brazil 3-1 in pool play. In Rio, the US beat Brazil 3-1 in pool play. And then in Tokyo, the Brazil beat US 3-1 in pool play once again. So overall, in the past 20 years at this very tournament, the US has been 2-5. Yeah, 2-5 against Brazil.
We won a gold medal off of them. I'll certainly take that. And this Brazil is not that Brazil.
But
it really is not.
I'm just setting the table here, Rob, that this is quite possibly the best and greatest rivalry in Olympic men's volleyball.
It very well may be.
And I for one, I'm gonna the emotionality of this match is what's gonna play the most in factor, because this is gonna be an emotional match. Do you think Bernardino wants to go out losing to the USA?
Same
Do you
with
think Bruno wants to go out losing to the USA? Do you think Leal, who's a communist, wants to go out losing to the USA, Rob St. Clair? Do you think
is not a communist? There's a reason why he left his home country.
I was trying to make this like a rah-rah Disney speech. I don't know if that worked. I thought I did pretty good. But this game, because of everything that goes into it, right? It's kind of like, I mean, rivalries aren't that big in North American sports compared to European sports. And, when you talk about like a derby match, and sometimes there's going to be a team at the top of the table and a team at the bottom of the table. But when they have that derby match, it's a cutthroat, close match that goes to the end. And that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a 5-set banger from this match, because this is a veteran Brazilian team that won't lay down and just lose to the USA the way that Japan did just yesterday, right? No doubt about it in my mind. I think the U.S. is a better team. They have a better roster. They're better built. And I'm not necessarily going to say they have more momentum, but they've won, more games, basically, in this tournament so far. But I think that Brazil just emotionally and mentally won't let the USA get the better of them, and they're going to fight tooth and nail to the end.
I'm sure that they will. That I don't doubt that at all. I have the utmost respect for Brazil and Brazilian sports and Brazilian volleyball, especially at the Olympics. We are better than this team. This U.S. team, the way that they're constructed, the way that they're playing right now, we are better than this Brazilian team. And if we are mentally prepared and can handle some of that emotion being in the Olympic quarterfinals and the pressure and the finality that comes with that on both sides of the net for us and them, if we can handle that, we're better than them. We are a better team than them, and I love the matchup. I really like our ability to put pressure on all 3 of their wings. If Adriano comes off the bench again and goes 50% efficiency, then good for him, but I don't see it. No. I love our matchups in the middle. We've been amazing in the middle of this tournament. Brazil has not. I really like our ability to put pressure on Darlin to score in an Olympic elimination game. I've got USA 3-1. And I think it could be real similar to some of the games we've played in pool play where we go up.
You guys are losing the 3rd set. You guys are
I
going to lose the third set.
That's what I would pick, because I think we would go up 2-0, lose the third, win the fourth, very much like Japan yesterday. But I love this matchup. I'm really excited for it.
I think U.S. is going to win in 5.
Okay.
And I think Brazil wins the first, U.S. wins the second, and then Brazil they're looking good in the second, then Brazil trounces them in the third, and the U.S. battles in a back and forth fourth before taking it in the fifth. That's
could
my
be something
prediction.
like that. That sounds like the match we played against Germany in pool play, and I could see that going that way, especially if a similar change is made where we bully Bruno into getting substituted off by his father, and then Kachopa comes in and changes the flow, just like Johannes Thiele did for Germany when we played him in the same situation.
And Kachopa's flow is one that could disrupt the USA.
Most definitely.
He is one of those flow setters and runs his offense at a tempo that doesn't work well. Shit, guys, come on. Doesn't work well against the USA. It's now 9-6. We're down 2-1.
Don't go 5.
So, yeah, don't get me started about this. Like, I'm getting texts from non-volleyball people being like, "What's going on, bro?"
I get I've been getting a lot of texts from non-volleyball people this week. It's good. It's a good thing, especially because the US has been good, but I've had a lot to respond to.
But yeah, this Brazil USA match for me is going to be an emotional battle. Like once again, like you can talk about the X's and O's all you want. I get it. You're an engineer. You only think that way. You have no emotion on you. That's why you're the autism side, not the ADHD side. That's why we work. We're both neurodivergent. But I think that this one's going to really come down to the emotional side of it. And can the USA keep that in check? Because Brazil is comfortable playing emotional. They're comfortable riding that tightrope, and they're the best when they do that. When Bernardino's yelling at the ref and he won't get carded because refs have been told in the FIVB not to card him. I mean,
That's remember a fact, by the way.
Well, I mean, this is what a ref told me in 2012. Who knows if it's the same in 2024, right? So let's take it with a grain of salt from over a decade ago. But they play that tightrope well. USA plays really well when they're in control, and it's going to be really tough to control this Japanese team.
Well, everyone plays well when they're in control. I love the US's emotion and just the vibes, the almost relaxed and having fun nature of this team, led by a guy like Taylor Averill and surrounded by guys that are the best players in the world and have Olympic experience. The emotional factor and the team chemistry might be the best for the US of anyone in the tournament, I would argue, and especially with the way that we're playing right now. And Brazil's going to bring a lot of emotional intensity and fire the way that they do, but we're going to be trying to have as much fun and be as enjoying the moment as is possible in an Olympic quarterfinal game. And I love the way that matches up. Yeah, I've got us 3-1.
Rob, would you be mad if I watched that match from the beach?
You can do whatever you want. That sounds awesome. If I'll be too nervous about it to watch it from the beach, but I think you should do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I'm going camping right after the Olympics, and it's a long weekend here in Toronto, in Canada, not just in Toronto, all of Canada. So my friends are all going to the beach to plan our camping trip. And I was like, they're all talking about it. And I was like, I kind of want to go to the beach, but it's the quarterfinal.
Do the show from there.
I may end up doing, I'm just going to preface it that I may end up doing the show from there. We'll see how it goes.
That would be awesome. So that is the men's quarterfinal bracket. I cannot wait for it.